Talking deep sea in the grays, our creek balance. Thoughts split the sea, no extreme. In a world of black and white, we seek the blend. Understanding both sides, let the truth transcend. Stay in the gray where perspectives intertwine. We seek the truth in the gray we define. In this podcast journey, minds open wide. Shades the truth on this impartial ride. A long time ago we started stumbling. Feels like this country's crumbling. The government is fumbling. A Congress that is fumbling. Sides are always arguing. They all could use some humbling. And stop the world from tumbling. Rebuild the trust is plumbing. If ideas would start bubbling, our efforts could be doubling. And chaos would start slumbering. And people resume huddling. And talk about the trouble and concerns we're always juggling. Cooperate while snuggling. And quit the useless struggling.
Hey, you guys. And hey, Trey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
I wanted to make sure I said that because last show, Trey jumped right into his headline, and we didn't even ask how any of you were. We didn't care.
Speaking of, no.
Yeah, no. Because I've got to explain something real fast in case most of our listeners, who I assume are American, not in any prejudice way, just that we're American.
Yeah.
They may be wondering what the fuck is on my screen right now. I know a couple of people are not curious, and they're very, very close to the show. And they're friends of ours from Pakistan, northern Pakistan, I believe, near K2. Hopefully, we get to go visit on our world tour.
Isn't that flowery stuff that people, like kids, smoke?
What, K2?
Yeah.
Probably.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think that's where they got the name from.
Okay.
It's the second highest mountain range in the world, I believe. But this guy's name is Arshad Nadeem.
It looks like an Arshad, yes.
And let me tell you why he's on our screen, because these friends of ours mean so much to us. He won the one medal that Pakistan has at the Olympics.
Really? Okay.
And it's a gold.
Nice.
And it was in javelin throwing.
Well,
so
of course.
It wasn't like synchronized swimming bullshit that Pakistan win.
Yeah.
No offense to our synchronized swimming fans.
Yeah.
But that's...
I can't imagine synchronized swimming fans listening to us.
What's called art dance swimming or
hard dancing?
And then you told me earlier there was a
breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
Yeah.
So it's not like Arshad was a breakdance champion.
Right.
He was throwing the javelin like a beast.
Like a beast.
And I tell you something, Trey. Mr. Nadeem is getting laid right now.
I'm sure he is, yeah.
He's the ladies right now. He's
with his gold medal around his neck.
Nothing but gold medal.
Pound town.
Slapping right off her. Anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out there. Do you have a Trey headline?
Well, of course I do, sir.
I never doubt you.
So my headline starts off with Florida man. No, I'm just kidding. But it is a man who decided he wanted to insert an eel. God, seriously, I don't even want to know where this is going to go. Okay, go ahead. Into rectum.
Oh, God.
In hopes to relieve constipation.
Okay, it could be a snake. It could be anything. Why an eel?
That's great. That was exactly the question. Is like, how did they finally land on eel? Snake, no fish, no eel. Wait a minute.
Even like worms.
And did he Google, do eels eat poop?
Oh. And
how was he planning on getting it out? And of course, the best question out of the comments was, so did it work?
Well, actually, that's a great question. Normally, I'd be like, that's stupid. No, that's legit.
Did it work? So,
well, I wasn't even thinking about the eating part. I was thinking about just the wiggling. In case anybody needs to know, this is something disrupting the poop.
Eels are pretty thick, right?
Well, they're thick, but they're very
slimy,
squiggly.
Yeah, but still, your asshole doesn't go that big around.
That's true. Maybe a giant earthworm would have worked.
I would think, yeah.
Okay, well, there's really no more story to that unless we know if he was relieved.
If it worked, now we don't know.
We don't know.
That's what makes it
fun. That's what we do on our headlines. So if anybody finds out, I kind of want to know.
Yeah, I'll have to Google that.
All right, let's do Butthurt Comments. Actually, you know what? First, I'm going to do, Trey, I'm going to give an update on the medal count because we're continuing to beat the shit out of everybody. We have 111 total medals in the Olympics. 33 of them are gold. We're tied with China for gold. Not overall. We're still up on them by like 30-something.
So they tied us for gold.
For gold, it's tied. And, of course, there's articles. Now, if the U.S. thinks that they don't have a competitor now in China, then they're wrong. Well, we do. I admit that. But they also have 6 billion people. So I'm glad they found a couple that can compete.
A little side note there. They were talking about if you take just the Texas athletes that made it to the Olympics and take the medals that they earned, we would be 6th on that list.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just Texas athletes.
That's right. So don't mess with us. I mean, I know it's in our slogan and all that bullshit. Was don't mess with Texas, but really don't do it because we'd be 6th.
6th, right?
If we were our own country,
yeah.
Which could happen one day. There are many Texans that want that.
That would be interesting.
So, and then it keeps switching it on me, but I'm going to go back to total medals. So 3rd is Great Britain. So France, the host, is now 4th, but they're only 1 back.
Did they come up or they go down?
Go down.
Oh, okay.
So they were 3rd, now they're 4th, Great Britain's. And then Australia is 48. And everybody's like, oh, that's such a big deal. They're so small. It's a continent, isn't it? Like, anyway, Japan, Italy, all the ones you'd think. New Zealand was kind of a surprise with 15. They were number 13. But other than that, then Hungary.
Oh, we're really going through all these countries.
No, I'm just kind of, I was looking for one that was surprising. Like,
what about Canada?
Like, they're up there. They're somewhere there.
Mexico.
No, not so much. But anyway, Pakistan has 1 gold medal, and I'm proud of them.
Nice job.
Well done, Pakistan. Let's move on to Butthurt Comments. And this one is kind of, again, it's like I said last show, it's kind of like the same stuff. And what's bothering me, Trey, and again, Trey is convincible right now. He's a free agent, if you will, at this election.
Uh-oh.
He is.
Oh, okay.
For the election. He has not said who he's voting for. He has not endorsed anybody. I, however, have endorsed Donald Trump. If not because I don't think he's as bad as people think, because the other side's insane. Trey, on the other hand, is going to wait it out. He's going to hear some debates, which, by the way, September the 10th have been decided. Finally.
What day is that on? I have to look while you're talking. Go ahead.
We'll let everybody know. But September the 10th, Kamala and Donald will debate. But it's the same stuff. And this guy, he looks at me and he posted a picture of like Donald Trump Jr. with, I guess, his niece or something, and he says, I don't care if I lose followers, but he added an O for lose, so it makes it sound like it's loose.
Okay.
And the guy
trying to be funny with that?
The guy thought it was, he can't even spell. Because no one's ever put a typo. No one's ever misspelled something and posted it. So I just said, and he goes, and this is an educated person. I said, well, it's ironic that you're using a clever way of, because he called people maggots, M-A-G-A-T, which is not how maggot is spelled. Mm-hmm. So I just said it's ironic that you're using a misspelling. He goes, it's an acronym, bro. Make America Great Again. Trumpanzee. Trumpanzee for the T in maggot, which is not the way to spell maggot. But it's an acronym. Well, no, because you made it up. He goes, you can whine, but the people you support have always voted against funding public education. Okay, let's talk about it. But that had nothing to do with the post. It's like,
it's a long way to get to that little argument there.
Okay, we can talk about public education, but none of that was before it. But I just, Make America Great Again, Trumpanzee, maggot. First off, we're not MAGA. We're not this movement that people want to make it out to be. So I just...
That's a movement? Maggot?
According to the anti-Trump people, MAGA as a whole, not the T, the MAGA,
right?
The hats, the Make America Great Again, is instead of, I don't know, making America great again and having that be the thing that's become a
isn't that a racist statement though?
Yeah, according to them. And so I'm getting tired of that, and I'm getting tired of me saying over and over again, I'm going to vote for Donald because of so-and-so policy, so-and-so this and that, and the other side's insane, blah, blah, blah. You're MAGA. What does that mean? Okay, fine. Call me that. I don't give a shit. But these clever little acronyms. I'm a Trumpanzee. Really? Okay.
I don't get that one.
So people like that, shut up. And that's the Butthurt comment. I know it's boring, but it really is the same stuff, Trey. And I think even our producers were like, hey, the way they worded it was like, in some of the description was like, hey, we're looking for something a little more clever.
Yeah.
We're looking for something with substance. If you want to make Butthurt comment of the week, you can't give us weak sauce.
Yeah.
You need to come at us with something really good.
Right.
So we may have to cease this if no one's good enough
to make it.
If no one's good enough to have a real Butthurt comment. So there's Butthurt comments. How about we do some news?
Sounds fun.
That
wasn't news.
People are excited. How about let's do some news? See, I told you everybody's excited about news tonight. I thought that we should first talk about a man that I respect so much. This isn't funny at all. I giggle because, my God, I would be crying and whining if I was this man, and he instead was out there winning a bronze medal.
Right.
This man was Noah Lyles. And so if anybody doesn't know the story, I'll make it brief. He won the golden 100-meter running.
Right.
He's got a great story, a good personality, that kind of guy. You know,
Yeah.
his mom's there, and they're all he's just a good guy. He believes in himself. And so his best event was a 200-meter. And the first curve of that 200 meters is usually kind of where he takes over.
Okay.
And everybody, the announcers, and of course everybody's kind of like,
he didn't make that.
something just happened there that was weird. And so two others pulled away. There was Letsebe Tubogo
Yeah.
from Botswana.
Pretty fast.
And then there was Kenny Bednarek from U.S.
There we go. Kenny.
That pulled away. Well, so Noah Lyles wins third. He gets bronze.
Gotcha.
And he falls down. He's usually known for kind of ending, and then no matter how out of breath he is, he's still got the fun and
Right.
the personality.
Right.
But he fell over and he passed out. He just kind of, not passed out, but he's kind of like
Yeah.
breathing on the ground. He was on his side,
pretty
and he
beat
couldn't
down.
catch his breath, and he finally got up, and he was wobbly, and he asked for some water, and then they brought out a wheelchair.
Oh, I didn't see the wheelchair. Okay.
They took him away in a wheelchair
Damn.
because he has COVID.
Yes. I heard about that. Yeah.
So this is a guy that competed, and apparently they went through the protocol with the committees and all that, and I still don't understand how he's out there without the mask. Everybody believes in the mask and all this. As soon as he found out, it was 2 days prior that he was notified that he had tested positive. He
Right.
sat in his room and he did this, and he said, bottom line, I still wanted to run. He said he still wanted to compete. He's not doing anything after that, though. That was his event, so he wanted to give it his all. And I tell you what, a bronze medal with COVID, this sounds cheesy, but that's a gold in my mind, my man.
That's a gold in your book.
Right? In your book, too, I
book.
hope.
Yeah. Well, he dropped out of the relays. I was, if you ran that well with
Yeah,
COVID,
maybe-
why not just do the relays too?
Maybe you could make it. I mean, that's shorter, right?
Yeah, I would think. I don't know.
We're not qualified to talk about anything running, you and
No.
me. Can you imagine us in the
At
relay
all.
race?
At all.
Where would we be in that race? Would we even be close?
I would have looked like him trying to talk myself out of running it.
If I got
Afterwards, yeah.
if I got COVID, I'd be like, I'm not doing shit.
I'm flying home.
I'm out of here.
Not worth it.
Yeah. So that was the first piece of news.
Oh, it's my time. now. I'm sorry.
You have some news, I think.
I get to talk. So this one it's labeled Sky High. So passenger on American Airlines tries to open door midair after eating 10 weed edibles.
God. That's my nightmare, being on an airplane, a passenger plane, is somebody that's insane opens that door and everybody gets sucked out.
Flies out, yeah.
We need our pilot back, Tim.
It says a New Jersey man was arrested for trying to open a plane door and propositioning a flight attendant for sex after eating 10 marijuana edibles. He is now facing federal charges for his disruptive behavior, which included shouting, singing at the top of his lungs, vaping.
That's a charge? Yeah. Hold on. Singing? You could probably just toss that one out. Let's go with the other charges. Right. Go ahead.
The vaping, are you allowed to carry a vape on? I didn't think you could do that anyway.
You're not supposed to.
Harassing passengers and assaulting a flight attendant.
Yeah, all those are good, but singing... Look.
At the top of your lungs.
Maybe that was it.
You got to sing low.
Quieter.
A little quieter, like a whisper singing.
That's 1 month in prison.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, well...
Can you imagine if an acquaintance of ours had happened like this for him? That'd be a great story.
The same story, the same acquaintance that took, trying to be comfortable for a flight. I don't see him doing that, but it would be funny. Look, people, calm down with the edibles. Give it some time. This is what happens. People take them and they go, I'm not feeling shit. I'm going to keep taking it until I do.
I wonder if that's what it was, or if he was just like, fuck it, I'm taking 10.
Yeah,
this is going to be a fun flight.
Yeah. And then instead he ended up trying to kill everybody on the plane.
Yeah.
Because I think if that door opens, it's a suction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we act like we know.
Well, there was something I saw on social media the other day where it was talking about a woman that got sucked out of the window, but somebody held on to her from within the plane. But
those windows are so small.
Yeah.
She must have been tiny.
She was, I guess.
We need our pilot to tell us, because we had a guest on, and he was a pilot, and I'm so intrigued by flying and all that.
Maybe they should put speed tape on the...
and glue?
Yeah.
Gorilla glue.
Glue and speed tape on the door from the outside.
Gorilla glue. What would they do in that situation, though? So did they just tackle him, or...
So they forced the pilots, says...
So did they land...
Okay. From Seattle to Dallas to emergency land in Utah. And he was arrested in Salt Lake City International Airport.
This was a guy coming to our city.
Oh, where he broke a glass door also.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah.
Well, I'm glad he didn't make it all the way here to our city.
Not yet.
Not yet. He's on his way, though, with his edibles. That's funny.
He's ready to party.
I like that one.
Yeah.
This may be the funniest thing we say tonight, actually, Trey. Trey and I did both walked in here, and before the show, and we're not going to give you too much detail because you don't need to know how everything works behind the scenes. But Trey and I said, all right, we got news tonight. What do we got? And we both had the same story. And we're laughing because of the absurdity of the story, not because we both had the same story. Like, that can happen, especially with news that's out there. But the absurdity of this story, I kind of said, do you want to do it? No, do you want to do it? Who should do it? And I said, well, I have some notes. What do you have? He said, well, I don't have any notes. But we're both gonna. I think he has some notes. So we're gonna kind of. I'll introduce a little bit. You know what? You should introduce it because I always talk. Do you want to introduce this thing?
No, you're good.
How about I'll just tell you right off the bat. This is about a crocodile expert in Australia, of course, because that's where all the crocodile experts. His name is Adam Britton. And let me tell you, this guy's really messed up. What did you have on your story about this man?
56 charges of bestiality and animal cruelty.
Trey's notes, he gets right to it.
Yeah.
Jailed for 10 years for sexually abusing dozens, in quotes, more than dozens, of dogs.
Yeah, sexual exploitation of 42 dogs and the deaths of 39.
Yeah, he killed 39.
Yeah. Dubbed his torture room.
This guy worked for BBC, National Geographic. This isn't like, you remember that asshole we talked about that was like banging the dogs and then he with a mask on and he'd like walk out of the forest and he was caught on camera? This isn't this guy.
This is a new level.
This guy's like well known.
It says
apparently.
he reportedly filmed many of his crimes.
Yeah, which is how they found him.
Dumbass.
I love how we both know this story. We're like, well, this is how, of course. This is what happened. The Chief Justice had to warn the court during this trial that the details are so grotesque that it could cause a nervous shock to the people in the courtroom.
Yep.
Some ran when they ran out when they started describing it. Not right when he said that, but when they started, some ran out.
Sounds a little dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know, depending on what he did, because it didn't give a lot of detail. Some cried, some yelled insults at him, and there's a quote where Britton said himself. He goes, "I was sadistic as a child to animals."
No shit.
Okay. But I had repressed it. In the last few years, I let it out again, and now I can't stop. I don't want to. Smiley face. This was on social media, on an online chat room.
Wow.
He said he would manipulate his own pets, but only badly and mistreat other dogs. I have no emotional bond to other dogs. They're toys, pure and simple. It's fucked up.
Sounds like a weird motherfucker.
And there are plenty more where they came from. So this guy's messed up, and I guarantee you, guess what? Our friends over at PETA probably not going to like this story.
Right.
And I don't like this story. So, but like you said, 42 tortured, 39 killed. What happened that I saw was that he was, what I heard was that one of his videos that he put out, he would put these out. Somebody recognized the leash on one of the dogs.
That's how they found him?
And that's how they found him. They
Wow.
said, well, I know, somebody said, called the authorities and said, I know where this guy is. Go check it out. And sure enough, that was him.
They got him.
And it was like this big time known guy. There's an activist, Natalie Carey, whatever that means, by the way. She said, once respected and esteemed, you're now a disgrace.
You think?
No one will look at you with admiration ever again. Well, thank you, Natalie. I think we could probably all agree on that. You didn't need to state it. Do you have anything else about Adam Britton?
No, that was pretty much it.
Good, because he doesn't deserve shit.
At
He's
all.
Fucked up. So yeah, Trey and I both kind of saw that story and we were like, that sounds like Stay in the Gray type of
Exactly.
news. And it bothered me. I was kind of like, what the?
We'll get PETA back on our side.
Yep. PETA's probably like, we like those guys, but we're not sure, but we are. We don't know. We did send them lunch and we interviewed their president.
Yeah.
She was great. I want her back on.
Yes.
Ingrid Newkirk of PETA, you got off the hook with us the first time. If you have the stones, come on again and let's really talk.
And can we do lunch again?
Yeah, I mean, after the lunch, of course.
Yeah.
Those burgers weren't bad. This time, there's a new vegan place called Whataburger.
Oh, that's perfect. I've heard about that. Yeah.
Check it out. McDonald's. One of the two.
Wendy's.
And so, okay. All right. Hurricane Debbie.
Okay.
It's hurricane season. Hurricanes are happening. This one, particularly, Hurricane Debbie, went through the Caribbean, a little bit of the Gulf, and then turned into a tropical storm. So it still was annoying and 50 to 60 mile an hour winds and bullshit. And just it wasn't a full on hurricane. So Floridians that I know down there that are like, oh my gosh, it's just a storm. Don't
Turned
worry
into
about
just
it.
Debbie.
I had a thunderstorm today. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm joking. Of course, I hope all of you are okay. It went all the way up the coast. Each day it went up further, and then it finally right now is like hitting way in the north where I used to live, up in Maine, New Hampshire. All those are getting New Jersey, New York got just flooded.
Yeah.
And that's unusual for it to go that long, I think. So I'll go ahead and skip to this. The National Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration. Have you heard of those guys?
Oh, yeah. I got a T-shirt.
NOAA. You have an NOAA T-shirt?
Exactly.
NOAA.
Ah.
They are blaming these hurricanes, which, by the way, happen every year in hurricane season.
On.
This season's been completely normal. On global warming.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, are you going
and
that route?
the use of fossil fuels,
Ah.
which we've talked about one side wanting to use and one side not. So I wonder where NOAA is going. But 5 people have died. This is the sad part. In the storm, trees fallen have killed people. I mean, it sucks.
That's scary.
I just look outside, look at your trees, and go, you know what? I'm going to kind of angle myself a different way. The point of all of this is that there was something found in the Florida Keys.
Oh.
25 packages, about 10 by 10 kind of deal, wrapped 70 pounds worth, $1 million worth of cocaine.
Oh, shit.
Washed up in the Florida Keys in packages. Like
somebody's partying right now.
Somebody was delivering something because they were wrapped up like UPS, baby. I mean, they were in packet. They were like,
this wasn't. If found, call this person.
Well, it should have. What was funny was it was like the person that found it would immediately call authorities.
Yeah.
Like,
hell
I don't
yeah.
want anything to do with this because that's a lot of coke.
Would you have called the authorities though? I would have been like, I didn't see shit. I'm walking on the beach.
If you call them and you say, "Look, I saw this and I'm out of it," maybe
right.
You get yourself. But this means more sharks are going to be fucked up. So
that's true.
We did a story about sharks that were on coke. So be careful, everybody. Down by
how much is still out there? I wonder.
Yeah, right. Look, 25 packages. You're doing a big deal, I assume.
That's a lot of coke.
It's a lot of coke. There's more.
Did they find the boat it came from? Just
Not
washed
yet.
ashore?
Not yet.
None of that.
They're working on it. I don't know how you're going to find it in a hurricane, tropical storm. But that is a prime example of why these sharks are fucked up and why our wildlife is messed up in the ocean.
Well, think about these poor guys that were driving the boat, too. They're like, where the fuck did this storm come from, Hector? I thought you told me this was going to be good. Why the fuck are we out here?
They're worried they're going to get killed.
Yeah.
Because they lost the shipment.
Shit.
There you go. So Hurricane Debbie, coke washed up on the beach, turned into a tropical storm. Look, global warming, people, let's keep researching, but get over it. Hurricanes happen every year. Fossil fuels have nothing to do with Hurricane Debbie, which, by the way, was a light tropical storm. Let's move on. Do you have anything to add to that, Trey?
No.
That was news for tonight. Let's move on now, and this will be the last show we do during the Olympics. It will be released probably a day after the Olympics, day or two after the Olympics.
So you're saying Pakistan can still add to their total?
Pakistan has a chance to catch up, if you will. I don't know if they're going to do it.
Gold is a good start, though.
It's a good start. I don't think there are 122 javelin events for this guy. Maybe something else. I think they're good at cricket.
There we go.
Something like that. Well, I'll cheer on Pakistan second.
Okay.
Maybe behind Scotland. Or third behind Scotland. But who gives a shit? USA.
Hey.
There we go. I'm going to give you something fun. How about that?
Okay.
And it's going to be on the computer, not something fun like you might be thinking.
Gotcha.
People, calm down. I was going to do this, and now I just realized that I had another story.
About dogs?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to interrupt you.
Trey knew I messed this. This is a very, very fast thing I wanted to mention because it's very important. Real quick before we get to the Olympics, this is so unprofessional. Maybe our producers can
finagle this.
Or you know what? Just leave it, boys. Just
we're fine.
Get it done. So there were 2 dogs, and it looks like they were Goldens. So one was golden, one was yellow lab. So I have that's what I grew up with, were labs and Goldens.
I love Goldens.
And one of them was sitting at home, and they had a camera on the teddy bear, like a babysitter cam.
Okay.
That could watch after the dogs and see what they were doing, and probably the kids if they have kids. And the dog was chewing on a lithium battery.
Oh shit!
Like I guess the ones from the phone or whatever. And that's his toy. He's just sitting on the couch. Well, that couch lit on fire because of some sort of spark.
From the battery?
from the battery being chewed on. And you see it on the video, and it lights on fire. And the dogs run over here, and they just sit there.
They didn't call 911.
And they're looking at the fire, and they're going, holy shit.
Where's the cat?
I think we're in trouble. It's funny you say that. A cat that lived at the house. They all went through the doggy door.
Okay. And got out.
And escaped. So
okay.
Fortunately, nobody passed away in this peril. But the house burned down because the dog was just chilling. So people, don't give your dogs lithium batteries to chew on. That's the news story. Simple enough.
I like it.
All right.
You're welcome, people.
You're welcome. I think it's because I didn't actually put notes on it. I just forgot about it. So plenty of notes on this. This will be fun. The biggest issues we've had at the Paris Olympics. How about that?
I like it.
Because last time we gave you some stuff about the Olympics and some of their weird rules. But, okay. There have been some stuff. We talked about the Seine River, right? We talked about how people are
Seine or sign?
So remember we decided it was Seine.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
We can call it sign, whatever. Who gives a shit? Paris. After their performance hosting the Olympics, they'll take what we give them. That sounded big and bad.
Yeah. I like it.
The sign. Let's do sign just to piss them off.
Okay.
Seine River. Everybody's getting sick swimming in it. We predicted that. We talked about it.
Well, anybody could predict that shit.
Well, there's shit in it.
Literally.
I mean, you might get sick, and people have. Like multiple swimmers have been sick. We talked about the gender issue in boxing. We won't get back into that with Imani. And people have come up to me after this show and said, I'm glad you apologized for saying that she was a man. And I said, okay, fair enough. She's a woman, but did you see her move that cock in those shorts? And there are memes.
Oh my god!
There are memes, and I apologize, Imani. I'm sure
she's a
you're
gold
lovely.
medal winner.
Gold medal winner because she punches like 1,000
She could
times
probably
harder.
knock us out.
Oh,
now.
absolutely. No, because she's one of us. She's not one of us. She's the same chromosomes as us. Calm down. It's a joke. So congratulations to her for winning. But we did. It caused some stuff, and she's probably gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Mentally, and it needs to be talked about. But I don't wish that mental anguish on anybody.
Well, I saw her interview the other day. She actually came up through the clubs or training with all these fighters in Italy, so it's like, this is not new. She's been training through these camps and, as a kid coming up. So this is not somebody that just came out of nowhere.
Well, I get it, but the facts are still that she has XY chromosomes.
So something got brought up on another podcast that was kind of interesting is when...
You listen to other podcasts.
Somebody told me about it. Anyway, they brought up a good point.
I know who that is, and I'm going to have a talk.
They brought up a good point. It's like, what about all the times that she lost? How come there's not reports saying man got whooped by a woman?
Because, like you mentioned, there is technique involved.
So
there is technique involved, but if you land a punch, it's like 10 times as powerful. It gives you an advantage. I just think that means that she sucks.
I'm just trying to understand.
If you have an advantage and you've lost 9 times, you suck.
Well, there's weight classes, and it's weird that some of the women that she's facing look super small compared to her, but it's the same weight class. So I don't get it.
I still think, when's the last time you saw Colin Kaepernick?
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, I think
that's pretty funny.
I think he might be.
I see what you did there.
This is his whole new shtick. But anyway, we talked about that. We talked about the convicted child sex offender, the Dutch volleyball player.
Yeah.
We talked. So I'm skipping the ones we talked about. One of the other ones is a swimming pool. They said was too shallow, so all the swimmers are pissed because it's making them go slower.
I heard it was chemicals, something to do with the chemicals, where
could be that too.
Records weren't being broke as much as they used to.
Well, it could be chemicals, but they're saying that if it's a shallower pool, then some of the current or whatever it is that comes from all the swimmers slows them down.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe chemicals too, but that's what I heard. And it's like when you play football, American football, assholes, in or whatever, in snow. Both teams have to play in it.
Yeah.
Every swimmer had to swim in it. If you're looking for world records, okay, I guess you can be pissed, but that's not what it's about. I thought it was about winning medals.
One guy had a big old dick that when he came out, so that had to slow him down a little bit. You would think, or he might have been a diver.
How do you overcome a big cock?
So maybe, I think he was a diver, so maybe that didn't affect his swimming. So
yeah, but when he
made a bigger splash,
isn't it when you go in the water? It
fucked up that splash. Anyway,
he just can't seem to get that gold because he's got
some little bitty ass swim trunks they have to wear. So,
are you looking to go into diving now? You ready?
I don't know if I could be packing like those guys.
Could we do Stay in the Gray synchronized diving together?
No, well, it'd be boring dives, but that'd be fun to see.
Just jump.
It had to be low.
Cannonball.
Cannonball dives.
Okay, there's a doping accusation of a swimmer named Pan Zonli.
Yeah.
China. One of the announcers, who was an old Australian swimmer, said that what he did to break the world record was not humanly possible, and basically accused him on the air.
Wow.
Of using something. So there's doping. Simone Biles, look, I don't want to piss a lot of people off because she's like the golden child, isn't she?
Right.
We already talked about what she did with the Trump thing. If you respond to him, you're acknowledging him, and in my opinion, that means he kind of got you.
Won, yeah.
Not he won, but he got you. If it means you noticed him. And so we said last show, she tweeted back at Donald about him talking about black jobs and how I debunked the meaning that his opposition is trying to give. But she did one to Michaela Skinner. Do you know who she is?
Wasn't this something about how the actually, I think Skinner came out saying that the girls athletes this year were lazy. And so then she responded back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's about Trey Notes right there. It's
Yeah.
like the Cliff Note version.
I didn't know we were supposed to be ready for
Trey
the
Note.
Skinner girl.
You should come out with your own Cliff Note company.
Yeah.
Trey Notes.
It's going to be like a page.
Michaela Skinner said, I feel like the talent and the depth isn't quite what it used to be.
There
in
you go.
gymnastics,
Yeah.
There's some laziness.
And
And she was just whatever. And they won. And so, of course, did you really need to do that?
Well,
Simone,
yeah.
you think?
Would,
okay, so you're on that. I was going to ask you.
I don't see an issue with that.
Hold on. Simone put a tweet that said, with a picture of them with their flag and the medals, lack of talent, lazy Olympians. Okay. You're
I don't
okay
have no
with
issue
it?
with that,
You're
no.
okay with it. Okay.
No.
But does Simone Biles really need to be doing all this? Can't she just say
She seems pretty feisty this year.
she's feisty? She went after Trump. She went after this. I mean, it's because she's still mad that Taylor Swift's getting more press than her.
Well, think about this too. It's like these athletes train for so long, and for somebody to come out saying, "Well, this group is not as good as previous ones," and then they go out and win gold. I'd be proud of that.
I mean,
and she didn't call her out specifically, did she? She just said,
No, but it was obvious.
Well, it was absolutely obvious, but
Simone Biles didn't do as well as what I mean. She did well. She still did well, but there were some events where
I don't know if it was because of that comment, but I did hear this woman is now receiving death threats, and she's reached out.
Michaela Skinner?
Oh yeah.
Oh geez.
And so she's reached out to Simone Biles to say, "Hey, I'm receiving death threats now."
Yeah. And that's what I mean. And
there's
so
crazy assholes
it's interesting that you say that because we'll get there. I have something I want to ask you about here in a second. There was a judo, so that's a form of karate, right?
Yeah, I watched some of those matches. It was interesting.
There's a judo meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see
saw
this?
this one, yeah.
Okay, let me explain it first because
Okay.
it's really fucking funny.
Yeah. Did you hear it? Did you listen to it?
No, I
Oh
just
my
I know
gosh.
about it. Do you want to describe it? Go ahead.
I mean, it was just this athlete. She was
This is boy. This is men.
Oh, I
This
didn't
is
hear
men's.
about the
Okay,
men
tell me
one
about
then.
the female
Okay.
one first.
The female one, she was supposed to win, and she was world champion, all this kind of stuff, and ended up losing by this one quick move by this unranked person, or highly ranked, I should say, or low ranked, whatever. She wasn't supposed to lose, and she literally was on the sideline with her coach, just wailing. I mean, wailing for
Sure.
I mean, over and over and over and over and over.
And it was
just
like-
kept going. And so,
Like the people in the stands are like,
well, you see the coach like trying to console her, and he's like
embarrassed.
looking
He's
around.
like,
it's like, okay, she's starting to quiet, and all of a sudden she wails again. And he's like, "What do you do?" But
Yeah. At some point, it's like my 4-year-old. Stop crying or you get no treat.
There you go.
Get no dessert.
We're taking the black belt from you.
There you go. This is what happened on the men's side. French Teddy Reiner, which is easy to say because the next name is not.
It's not Teddy Reiner.
He beat Georgia, not the state in United, but the country.
Okay.
A Georgia countryman named Guillaume Toucheville.
Oh,
I think that was the
3
proper
L's
Georgian
and 2
accent,
S's,
right?
5 S's in that one.
So after the Frenchman won, this guy from Georgia got so mad, he turned around, he kicks the Frenchman in the nuts.
Are you serious?
Takes him down and holds his head on the ground and doesn't let him up.
Where's the ref in this?
He's trying to get him off him, but the ref's not.
Wow.
That's not good sportsmanship, kids.
At all.
And I don't think I would teach that in my dojo. Is that what you would call it? A dojo?
Sure, yeah, we'll say that.
But can you just imagine this guy getting mad and just turning like they're like shaking hands and he just kicks him in the balls?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But it was.
Let's say what weight class that was in?
No.
Not that it would matter, but I was curious.
No, they looked like big. They were big boys.
Okay.
Or bigger than. They weren't small.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny. And
they were bigger than Imani.
Can you imagine? So your next match, if you,
I wear a cup. So
if you lose,
I'm not gonna kick him.
Turn around and kick somebody. Just take them down. Just hold them. Hold their head just on the ground. The guy's like trying to move around.
Well, we wear helmets and cups.
Oh, well,
so.
you pussies. All right, Canada soccer.
Okay.
Their whole soccer team, they call it football, we're calling it soccer, was fined because they flew a drone over New Zealand's training facilities.
Oh, I heard about that.
to try and get their strategy because they're not disqualified.
Yeah. Did you?
And they paid $313,000. I don't know why 313, but $313,000 fine.
Wow.
Which in the big scheme of things, I don't think is that much, but whatever.
There was another Canada athlete that went viral, and I was a little disappointed in this, for celebrating in an OnlyFans manner. Sorry.
Hold on, this just got good.
And I was like, okay, I got to see this video, right? And all she does is she wins bronze, and she clears pole vault, and she comes running off all excited, and all of a sudden she fakes like her leg is hurting, and then she immediately goes down and starts twerking for literally 2 seconds, and then
and that was the video.
And that was it, and that was an OnlyFans response, and I think one of the commentators was like, "This is disgusting." I was like, "Really?" It was just a quick twerk.
Something like that would probably get 2 million views.
Right.
Our good solid substance. We're just trying to get that. I was going to ask you a question about
the French pole vaulter.
The French. How did you guess that's where I was going?
Vaulter,
How did you guess? Because it's not on my list. Because it's not an issue.
No, I'd be proud.
For him, it's an issue. But you know more about it than I do. You've researched this.
Well,
heavily, no pun intended. So when the pole vaulters go, the men, what are they wearing, Trey? I did not watch any pole vaulting, and I'm sad because I think it's cool.
Almost like a little, I would say,
bike shorts.
Yeah, bike shorts, super tight.
Okay.
Yeah,
super tight.
Leave nothing for the imagination.
So, you're saying there's a Frenchman?
Frenchman, yeah.
Frenchman, good for him.
Yeah, he was rocking.
Good for France.
He cleared the pole.
Okay, so is this like on a medal round or is this just?
Ah.
I mean, okay. So, but it was anyway. So, because they get multiple attempts,
right.
So, was this like a big time?
I don't remember that one.
Anyway,
I didn't read that.
Who cares? He cleared the pole. He goes. He's running. He hits it.
He cleared it with his legs.
He clears it with his legs.
And as he's coming down, you see his package just hit the pole, and it knocks the pole off the top.
And it's obvious. Like this isn't.
Oh yeah, it's very obvious. Yeah.
They probably slow-moed it down. Yeah. Like
there's a website that claims to have obtained a copy of an offer letter from a live streaming webcam pornography platform.
Oh man,
for this guy, around $250,000.
You're telling me this guy's big hog knocked the pole off.
Nothing
else. If he had a small penis,
He
might have been good. He might have won gold.
So I'm trying not. For
Would you rather win gold or have a big hog?
Have a big hog.
I thought that might be your answer. So lastly,
just trying to find a new sport.
I don't mean to go from big genitalia to this one's kind of hard. There was a horse issue. This speaking of big penis, there's a British woman named Charlotte something. I thought I wrote her last name down, but apparently it's only Charlotte
Jones. Let's just call that. And some video came out that showed her like whipping her horse in anger. Oh, okay.
Like 20 times, like not even competing, not practicing, just pissed. And she withdrew because everyone's like, what the hell? And I'm not okay with that. Pete is not okay with that. Nobody should be okay with that. So
did that Britain guy come in to save the horse?
Which Britain guy?
The one we talked about for the bestiality stuff.
Moving on. Okay. The last thing I want to get in. Jesus Christ. He's like, that's inappropriate behavior.
Let me take the horse.
I'll take her from you.
I'll milk that bad boy.
God. Okay. Okay. Let's talk real quick about social media and AI.
Okay.
Before we end the show. The Olympics has, as a whole, brought about this discussion of cyberbullying. And I say this, and people are going to be all mad at me for that. Just putting some, because I feel like people need to quit being pansies. And that's I admit already that that's wrong of me to say. But what's happening is, of course, the athletes are getting all sorts of messages. And I guarantee you that many of them, if not most of them, are positive. But
I would hope so.
But there are plenty that aren't. And it's people are worried about the mental health. And then this whole kind of woke, safe space mindset where everybody's got to be pampered. And it's just like, grow a pair. And that may piss people off. Does that, me saying that right away, piss you off? Or are you kind of like, all right?
I guess I don't understand some of this social media bullying, because can't you just get off the computer or put your phone down? Or if it's bad enough, cancel your account. It's not like somebody is right there in front of you talking shit. It's from behind a keyboard, right?
This is why I do the show, because you just jump right to the end, and that's the solution.
Sorry.
No. I think it's fit because that's the point, Trey. Is just don't look at it. If you're going to put yourself in a position to be, you know what? First off, let's do this, and then we'll talk about that. Let me tell you, 500 million social media posts have been about the Olympics. 500 million. So that would be 500 million.
That's a lot,
right?
Of billions.
And it's an estimate by the IOC. And you know what? I'm not happy with the IOC about a lot of things right now, so I don't know how accurate they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even include comments. That's just straight up first posts.
Okay.
So imagine all
the comments behind it too.
Jesus. Yeah. So I would estimate over 1 billion, because there are way more comments on one post.
Oh, absolutely.
They estimate it would take 16 years to read if you gave each of the posts 1 second.
16 years?
16 years if you gave each post about the Olympics 1 second.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
Just put things in the show, we like to put things in perspective here, people.
That's wild.
So there's 15,000 athletes that have been affected by this, and 2,000 officials, because of course, like I do on Sundays and Saturdays in football, it's a lot of times it's the referee.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always, yeah.
It's never the player.
Ever.
So there's, of course, harassment, threats of violence, racism, hate speech, all these things. And they're concerned about the mental health of the athletes. Okay, fair enough. And so what they've done is they're now having an AI program that is going to have algorithms and forgive me, techies, if I don't say this right, to review posts to prevent cyberbullying and things like that.
They're already doing that now.
Well, they are to a point, but I think it's going to be even stricter, more stricter, whatever. And I don't know. And my question to you was, I mean, are you taking away freedom of speech?
I don't think so.
I mean, I know it sounds silly for me to ask that because that's kind of the common question with all of this. But should people be allowed to say, Simone Biles, you suck?
I see your point.
You know what on that. But see, so where's the line? That's my point. Yeah. Where's the line? Who decides the line? If you say Simone Biles, hold on, let me edit myself. If you say Simone Biles, I don't like that you're black, and I don't like what you said about Trump. I hope you rot in hell and you die. Okay, fine. That's something that most sane people would say that's inappropriate. Throw that out. But this is AI.
Well, can you say something to the effect? Are they just worried about hurting feelings, or are they worried about the language? Like if you, instead of saying Simone Biles, you suck, Simone Biles, you're the worst women's athlete ever.
But I think that's what they're saying is they're going to come down on that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I think they're going to start coming down on, because now a lot of people that know these algorithms use little symbols to kind of edit any word that resembles race or hate or,
Because I posted a picture of my mom in an unflattering manner, and she told me she was going to kick my butt.
Oh.
And they flagged her for it.
And she would.
And well, yeah. But they flagged her for it because that was insensitive or, bullying or whatever.
It's getting a little out of hand. That's my point.
So.
Look, I just feel like if you put yourself in a position, Olympic athlete, don't read the social media. Get off it. You should be focused on your shit. And if you do read it, then be willing to understand that there are assholes out there. Be willing to understand half these people are just trolls. Be willing to understand that all the good. Look at all the positives. If you have 1% positives, maybe you should look in the mirror.
Well, and whether or not it's fair or not, if you're putting yourself out there on social media, you're going to have somebody that gets butthurt or doesn't like what you say or look or whatever the case may be is. So
it's like wanting to be a Hollywood actor and the biggest famous actor there is. And then once you reach that plateau, getting mad at somebody for wanting an autograph.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And if you really want that comes along with it. And the same thing with these athletes, especially now in the day and age. That's why I asked about it. AI, social media, this stuff 20, 30 years ago wasn't an issue.
Right.
There was no social media when the Olympic team in Lake Placid beat the Russians to say, fuck you, communist bitches. And there wasn't any of that. It was in the streets or it was in the newspapers, and that was it. So I just thought, I wanted to know your thought on having AI dictate this, because it's not humans, it's AI. I know we're going towards AI, people, but at what point, where's the line? Because Trey and I'll tell you the real reason for this. Trey and I have been dealing with a bunch of different AI algorithms on all these platforms that might hear a word, and we're not... Some of it may be legit, but they'll hear something and then I'll say, well, tell me what it was, and then they tell me and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how about some context?
Yeah, they take it out of context.
So the AI needs to be, maybe that's what it is. I want AI to be
understand the context,
improved and perfected before they utilize that for something serious. Now, are we as serious as Olympic? I think so, but whatever. So, the Olympics is hard, and that's the last thing I'll say about it. The Olympics is difficult with this because nations hate each other also.
Already, yeah.
So it's kind of like, can you imagine, Israel has a couple medals. They win, and you're going to get lots of anti-Israeli hate. If Palestine wins, if
Even the U.S.
Some of U.S. I mean, some of these countries that don't like each other are going to get. How about the 5 Russian people that were allowed to compete and they're not allowed to show their flag or their colors? They just have it's like a blank logo.
What's the one country you can say, good job, but who cares if they won? What's that one country that nobody's gives a shit about? Or I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it like that, but that maybe they're not being harassed because
I think there are a lot. I think Scandinavia, no one gives a shit about Norway.
Canada?
Canada's too close to us. It's like they're U.S. by association.
They get the extra runoff.
They get the runoff from us, but maybe a small country, Trinidad and Tobago or something. That people that send. You got one guy holding his flag in those opening ceremonies.
Yeah, he's the only athlete from that country.
Maybe my man here. Maybe Arshad Nadeem.
Yeah, that's possibly.
So that's that. And on that note, by the way, Trey, I'm going to give you the end quote of the night.
Oh, okay.
And assuming I get that quote in the next 3.5 minutes, we'll have won a challenge that was put out by you and by our producers that I could not keep a show under 1 minute.
1 hour. That's a quick show.
Yeah. Hey guys, see you later. Yeah, and we're out of here. Don't keep delaying me. So I'm going to give you this quote, and we're rolling, and hopefully you guys enjoy the Olympics. I enjoyed the Olympics, and I wish they were. God, I wish they were more than every 4 years.
So did you hear about that story?
You know what, Trey? You talk too much. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
I look forward to the Winter Olympics in 2 years, and we'll roll. This is. I feel like every one you laugh at, I'm gonna see what the first one is you don't laugh at, and I don't think it's gonna be this one. I think you're gonna laugh at this one.
Okay.
But this is good. Life is not measured by the breaths that we take.
It's measured by the moments.
The moments that take our breath away.
Oh.
You've heard this one?
Yeah, I was on a movie the other day.
Oh man, this is supposed to be anonymous.
I want to say that was Hitch.
Look,
actually.
I only have a few moments left. Should I do another one?
Sure.
Since you fucked that up.
I didn't fuck it up. It was on Hitch.
Hitch. Fucking Will Smith.
Yeah. I can't believe I knew.
God damn it! You're just stalling. The one quote. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna find one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why don't you just make one up? You're a writer, right?
Yeah.
Do you not have a quote from a book? Your book?
Let's try it. Let's do this. Life brings tears, smiles, and memories. The tears dry, the smiles fade, but the memories live on forever.
I think I saw that on a Hallmark card.
Damn it, fuck you. That's a great quote. Love you guys.
Later.
A Hallmark card. Fuck.
No bias here, just the facts and the fair. We look at both sides, do our best to compare. In this podcast realm where we compromise, balance is key and the facts don't lie. Stay in the great where perspectives intertwine. We seek the truth in the gray we define. In this podcast journey, minds open wide. Shades the truth on this impartial ride.
I think that diver that had the big dick was from France too. So I don't know what was going on.
Well,
there.
where were they in the world rankings for penis size?
I don't
You remember? You didn't memorize that.
They didn't top 20.
You didn't memorize that for your next world tour. What I want a story about the orgies that are happening.
Right.
They're happening in the village, the Olympic Village.
Especially
these guys with the cocks.
Yeah.
He knocks the pole off. You don't think some chicks are going to be lining up at his hotel room door? Yeah.
Oh shit!
Good.
Pole vote me.
Good for him. He didn't even plan on winning. He just wanted to get fucked.
He just like, I want to wear those little Speedos.
I have 17 seconds, so see you guys later.
Later.
Love you.